Hey everybody, it's your boy, the Tice Man here, and let's talk about Friday Night Smackdown. You know, the latest Smackdown all over Roman Reigns as he comes out, and he wants me to acknowledge him as his tribal chief. I don't think so, Roman. You've been gone. There are good superstars. There are great superstars on the Smackdown. Why should I acknowledge you? And let's look as the camera pans to Solo. You know what Solo wants to do. Solo doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to stand there and listen to Roman mouth off about how people need to acknowledge him and that he's the tribal chief and blah 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 blah. Solo's like, really? I have to stand out here, listen to this man who's my cousin, talk his crap, while I could be in catering. You know who's in catering and I am not? LA Knight. I bet you LA Knight is looking at that piece of cake and saying, I bet you Solo wants that cake. Let's hide the cake from Solo. He knows that LA Knight might rib him and hide the cake, or hide the chicken, or hide all the goodness that's in catering. And Solo's like, come on, man, wrap this up. And then old tribal chief himself says, well, I'm going to give Solo acknowledgement here and make him the next lion to the tribal chief. And Solo's like, really? Really? This is not what I want. I want catering, damn it. And then Jimmy is like, but that was I wanted it to be me. But as this whole thing took on, thank God for Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's like, I know what I gotta do. I gotta go out there and I gotta save Solo. I've got to make sure that he can go to where he wants to be. We can see what, of course, this is all BS. This is all a made-up story. Of course, this is what I'm making up and what happened compared to what actually happened on Friday Night SmackDown. But yes, Roman Reigns comes back to Friday Night SmackDown. I love telling the catering story. I want the catering saga to continue. But when Randy Orton's music hits, the Viper, and I love that new t-shirt that Randy Orton has, that I want to get that shirt. I'm going to do a video here shortly about something, because I do have a t-shirt. Well, technically, I'm going to have a t-shirt from this is the sucky part about knowing what you're going to get for Christmas. I will have a CM Punk t-shirt next year, somewhere around January 9th through the 10th. One of my great family members, right after CM Punk had debuted or had returned, said, hey, what do you want for Christmas? I took them to WWEshop.com, and it says, I want that. I want the CM Punk t-shirt. They ordered it for me. And they were like, hey, so I'm going to have to get you a different Christmas gift, because apparently that shirt's not going to be here till January. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, way to drop the ball there, WWE Shop. But as I've been looking on the shop, I see that now it says pre-order. So that means that it was get them while they're hot. So it's on back order. But I do have a CM Punk t-shirt coming. Thank you, Christmas. I love Christmas when it comes to stuff like this, and I gotta get some stuff done. But back to Friday Night SmackDown, as Randy Orton comes out there, and he just tells Roman, you know what? I'm coming for you. And I like how Roman lined the play off of, like, I don't even know, I wasn't even thinking about you the last 18 months. Of course, if you understand the storyline where we're hearing story, Randy Orton was taken out by the bloodline and has been out for 18 months. And Randy Orton's like, I've been waiting for this day. This is the day that I take you and your bloodline and shove them down the creek. And then Roman's like, well, I didn't think of you at all while you were gone. Ooh. And then Roman tried to intimidate the Viper, the legend killer himself. Are you serious? Are you trying to intimidate the legend killer? I like how Randy Orton's like, you know what, Roman? You're right. You know what? You've made yourself a legend. And you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm the legend killer. And I will always be the legend killer. And then he goes for an RKO. And the look on Roman Reigns' face is like, I like the line where he says, and then Randy says, you know what the voices in my head are telling me now? You just crapped your pants. Yes. So we go backstage because, it's a great Smackdown. Of course it was. I mean, there were some good matches there. But let's go next. The backstage, LA Knight and Randy Orton have a little passing. Look, I don't need your help. Okay, I understand. You have beef with these people too. Okay, but I'm Randy Orton. Okay, I can take care of myself. And LAI's like, look, man, you're not the only one here who wants to take what Roman Reigns gets. You're not the only one who wants to dismantle the bloodline. And then Randy Orton just looking at him like, yeah, he's right. I mean, Randy is so good at this. And then the match between Randy Orton and Jimmy Uso happens. Because, of course, back in the back on the Bloodline side, of course, Jimmy says, yeet to Roman Reigns. As Roman Reigns is like, because he's like, why don't you let Solo take care of Randy Orton? He's going to be your next in line for the tribal chief. And he's like, you know what? Why don't you just do it yourself, Jimmy? And then Jimmy's like, well, fine. And then there's teases about the bloodline there, too. Because then the next segment, Jimmy is pestering Solo there. Like, you think we're being set up? You think we're being set up, man? They're gone for a long time. I think we're being set up. And then the look on Solo's face, and this is why the Catering Saga continues. It's like, Jimmy, I don't care. I just want to eat, dude. Let's just go to catering. Why can't we just go to catering? But in the end, Solo says, look, man, I'm your brother. Okay? Just calm down, man. It's going to be all right. And then we have the match. Randy Orton, the match is phenomenal. If you're in a match with Randy Orton, you know it's going to be a great match. And Randy, they were teasing their vintage Orton DDT onto the from the ropes onto the mat. And finally, Orton gets that. Orton's about to hit the RKO. Solo comes out. Then LA Knight comes out behind him. I bet you they were backstage looking at each other. Should we do this or should we go to catering? And so I was like, we work for the company. Let's do this. We'll have our catering later, And it's all right. Don't forget, you got to hit me from the back, and then I'll hang out back there. I don't even want to do this. All right, so Solo comes out. LA Knight comes out. Then Roman hits LA Knight. Boom, boom, boom. We go into the ring. It looks like the odds are against our heroes. Oh no, LA Knight and Randy are outnumbered. Who shows up? The phenomenal one, AJ Styles, shows up back on SmackDown. Oh my. And then he comes, he hits the phenomenal forearm to Roman Reigns. He's got their backs, and then he knows. Then AJ Styles knows what LA Knight has been doing. He looks at him and he says, you've been hanging out with Solo back in catering. And just, boom, clops him. And then Orton's like, what are you doing? We could have handled this backstage. My! So, there you go. AJ Styles knows what's up. AJ Styles has been on the case. He knows LA Knight and Solo were back in catering, hanging out. So, that is my excuse of why AJ was just boom. But that is pretty much what had happened last night between Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and catering, baby. Because there's nothing like having a good meal after a great show. I am the Test Man. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.